Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back. In this video we are going to be doing the fuel pumps on the 8.6 in preparation for putting on E85. So if you've watched any of my drift videos, you would have heard me complaining about the tune and there's something wrong and it cuts out when it hits limiter. So I organised to get a tune, and then while we were there we just decided we might as well put it on E85. It's a full dedicated track card, it's an E85 servo down the road. It just made sense, you know, rather than tuning it now and then tuning again later for E85, we'll just get it out of the way and do it all now. So, we're going to be using a DeatschWerks 300C fuel pump. Comes with this new sock, plug, 300C, so that the C is for compact, so that it fits in the existing fuel cradle. Alright, one of the things I need to do before we do this is just try and get as much fuel out of the lines. This is more for, I think, when you're doing the injectors, but we'll do it for the fuel pump as well. But you want to take the fuse out for the fuel pump. It's 20A FPMP, which is this one here. So we'll pull that out. Bang. So you just want to pull that out and then you turn the car over, and then the car will chew through the fuel that's in the lines, and then you won't have as much fuel pouring out when you pull the fuel pump. Alright, so I've already got my seat out because I have to fix it. So all you're going to have to do now, the fuel tank is on the passenger, behind the passenger seat. All you have to do, this is just stuck down with like a black epoxy sticky stuff. I've already taken it up before, so it's going to come up pretty easy, but all you need is a flathead screwdriver or a chisel, and then you'll be able to get that up pretty easy. So just to get the lid off, you'll need to disconnect the power, and then you've got your fuel pump line here. I might actually just grab some towels really quickly and put it, or maybe some paper towel, just so when I pull this and the excess fuel. One thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video is I'm going to be putting a fuel starvation door in the 8.6. So if you've ever seen my videos drifting, I would like spin out and then trying to start the car up, there would be no fuel. Putting this door in stops the fuel from being able to slosh around and drain out of the fuel cradle so fast, and then keeps a bit of fuel in there. It's going to get cracking on getting the fuel pump out and getting the new one in. So all you need to do, you want to press down and get this C-clip, clip off. Should be able to do it with your fingers. That was harder than I thought. Just need to take that off. Just push down here and you can get it off with your fingers. Alright, so there's just the 3 clips around the basket. That's really annoying, but we just get these 3 clips off. Probably just do it by hand. And then your fuel pump is out. This is annoying me. You can see the stock fuel sock connected to the fuel pump. Look down here. This little space here, that's the fuel door where the fuel comes in, fills up, and we're going to put the fuel door in there. And then that way it'll stop the fuel from being able to drain out so fast, and then when you spin out or you take a big corner, you know, you're not going to lose fuel. Alright, now we can start looking at disconnecting the fuel pump. So the harness is the top of the fuel pump there, and then it runs to the top of the fuel cradle. We're replacing this so we can get that out. Just grab a screwdriver in there, pull on the wire, doesn't matter because we're not going to be using that again. And it just wraps under here. And that's it, done. Alright, so we've got to take the bottom off. These clips here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all have to come off at the same time, so this is going to be very fiddly. Yep. Very nice. Alright, so that's the fuel pump. Now we can just push that out. Whoops. There you have it, the stock Toyota 8.6 fuel pump. Next to. So you can see that is compact and it's still longer, so you don't want to go crazy Oh, also, this is going to come off with this O-ring, and this little spacer here, you need to keep this spacer because we're going to reuse that on the new fuel pump. So make sure, if it doesn't come off on the fuel pump, make sure you check in here to see if it's sitting in there still. Alright, so to prep the new fuel pump, all we need to do, we're going to put the fuel sleeve back on. Because this is bigger, longer than the original stock one, we need to add, which the kit comes with, 2 of these spacers. I think that's going to be plenty. Alright, now we've got the spacers and O-rings on, we can slide that back in. Oh, there we go. Got it to sit in properly. Alright, now we actually got that secured in there properly. Make sure you push it in all the way because it felt like it was in the right amount, and then it still needed to go a little bit more. So we've got the new fuel sock that just pops on. Alright, now to the fun part. So this is the old fuel sock that we had to take off before. Now obviously we don't need the fuel sock anymore, or this. But we still need this to hold this all down. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of a hacksaw blade, and I'm just gonna cut this off in here. We want to keep this and cut this part off. So I'm just going to get a hacksaw blade and cut through there, maybe chuck it in the vise. Alrighty, piece of pie. Alright, so now we've got that cut off. That's just to hold onto this fuel regulator to keep it in place. So we can chuck that back on. Might face it this way because that's how it was originally, not that it will matter. So now that that's all done, we can put this all back in. This is the Veris Engineering product fuel starvation door. I must have got it from Cyberdrive Australia. One thing I'll say is this cost me $90, this tiny piece of plastic. And that was the cheapest I could find it. Some places were selling it for $185. So I thought about trying to make my own, but without actually having the fuel door to copy, it wouldn't have been too hard. But so basically the fuel door is going to sit in here, and it's just going to be able to go up and down. So it'll let fuel come in, it'll allow fuel to come in, but then it'll close and stop it from like flowing out, so it'll keep a good amount of fuel in the cradle. Alright, so now we can actually install it. Just going to grab a pair of needle nose pliers, grab it at the top. As you can see here, just slots into there. It's in now. Now we can put the fuel pump back in. It's all back together. Now we can just look at getting it reinstalled back into the car. It's time to, I just put this back on, so I'm not sure how long I was going to take, so I didn't want anything falling into the fuel tank. So I just took that, I just put it back on. It's going to need to reach into the fuel tank and reconnect the fuel pump. That was easy enough. And now you just want to be careful of this float when you're putting this back in. And we can reattach the fuel outgoing. Nice. Nice, Gary. Now we can plug this back in. And that's all done. Some people will reseal this. That's completely up to you. I don't. It's still really sticky. I mean, look at my hands. So just push it down firmly. You can reseal it if you want. Now let's put this fuse back in. Get the car started up. See if she blows up. Alright, we're in the car. Ignition on. You can hear the fuel pump already. Very nice. Car didn't blow up. It worked. All right.